Stop! Do not paint yet. If you're wanting to paint a new panel in black primer, don't make this mistake. Let's dive into how you should properly paint a brand new body panel. I want to cover what you're going to learn in this video. You're going to learn how to mount your panel. If you need mechanics wire or pieces of metal, we'll cover that. You're going to Scuffy the product, the panel. Then when you get done doing that, you're going to blow off all the debris, the dust and stuff. Detergent wash it. You can either wash it with a hose. I usually just put a soapy rag and wash it with with a detergent wipe. Then you want to air dry if necessary. Then wipe down your product with a wax and grease remover, or what they call prep sol. Then when all that's dry, you want to go over with a tack cloth. You want to spray your sealer, and you'll let that dry after probably 30 minutes or so. Then you want to go ahead and paint it. This could be a base coat, a clear coat, or just a top coat, just a single stage. But we'll cover all that in this video now. So the first thing you want to do is want to make sure you get it set up to where it's mountable, and when you spray it, when you're blowing air on it, I mean, you can see by me tapping on it, it kind of flexes a little bit, but you're not going to be spraying. Most guns now are high volume, low pressure, or you could be using spray cans, which the aerosol cans these days are great. I went and bought some just scrap, or I think I got these pieces of metal from the Ace hardware store or whatever. It's just like universal band metal or whatever. You can use it for about anything. It's not thin like the stuff that you use to put plumbing up with, but it's I don't know, maybe it's about a 1/16 inch thick. It's strong enough that it can hold small body parts. But I've got all sorts of scrap metals and metals like this and stuff that I use to make jigs, basically, to hold my parts. I just use wood screws, some washers to hold it down, and I used all thread rod that I also got from the hardware store or Home Depot or something, and just use the appropriate nuts depending on the size. I think this is a 5/16 rod, and just set you up something. But like I said, you want to make sure that your parts are rigid enough that they're not going to blow around and move around on you while you're spraying them. In this case here, I'm going to get them mounted solid. I mean, they're solid enough. What I've done is I found a hole that is never going to be seen, so I've just snugged those down just a little bit, not enough to scratch it all up, and it's enough to keep it from twisting if I spray on it. How to paint new body parts that are in black primer. When you order them, no matter if they come from the dealer or if they come aftermarket, they'll always come usually in a black primer, which is kind of a rust inhibitor, and it's been put on electromagnetically. Basically, it's almost like a powder coating in some ways. They transfer. They don't just spray it with a spray gun. It's transferred electrically, so that it bonds to the metal, and it does rust inhibit. So you don't really want to use sandpaper to scratch these things, because you don't want to take it back down to the metal. So what you're going to use is a Scuffy pad and scuff it up. Then we're going to want to use a red oxide Scuffy pad. That's my normal go-to Scuffy pad. It just doesn't put in really hard scratches. It puts in about the equivalent of about 320 to 400, depending on how worn out it is. And you don't bear down. You're just going to want to support it. You want to Scuffy everything that's going to get paint on it, that way it sticks. So I usually start off with the little ears. The nice thing about Scuffy pads is it gets down in the cracks, whereas a piece of sandpaper wouldn't. You definitely want to go around the outer edges of your piece. And just as a tip, if you sit there and bear down on an edge with a Scuffy pad, like a thin edge like that, you will take it back down the metal. There's no need to really be aggressive with it. You just want to make sure that you're dulling it out, and you can see the little bit of abrasive scratches in it. That's all you're looking to do. When it comes to scuffing the surface, I don't know what idiot wrote the book that sanding is like this. That is not how you sand. Color sand, any sand. No sanding is done like this. You always go in circular motions. There's some books out there that some genius thought that that's how you do it. I have had to repair more paint jobs and detailing jobs where people try to sand in a tic-tac-toe back and forth scratch pattern. The reason why you don't go like this is you're grooving it. You're putting too much pressure this way, then too much pressure this way. It doesn't counteract. If you're cutting this back and forth and then you go up and down, it doesn't counteract the grooves you put in different directions. Circular is the way you do it. If you've ever gone to if you've ever seen a plexiglass shop, a shop that makes plexiglass, which I'm talking about plexiglass that you see through like a piece of glass, they do not go back and forth. They use a Scuffy pad or they use sanding paper and finer grits, or they work their way to finer grits, and they always go circular motions. And you know that works because you can see right through the glass. So don't, anytime somebody sits there and goes back and forth, ignore it. That's stupid. I'm going to just blow the dust off. And if you don't have a compressor, then like I said, just get canned air and blow. But you're going to kind of blow off the dust as much as you can. And you also, like I'm using a horse here, a wooden horse. Blow anything off that could come out later, like where I was painted, it could flake on me. If you want to paint, just blow off any of dust or any debris. Now this is just water with a little bit of dishwashing liquid in it. I use it because it pulls off certain type of oils that you can put on with your hands, and just gives it a kind of a wash. Then I'll just help that dry a little bit. A little air. Okay, I've used actually various brands, but this is probably the most inexpensive wax and grease remover. It's called Prep-All. Some are called Prep-Sol, some are called Prep-All. This is perfect for getting it ready before you paint. There's some videos out there, and actually one of my favorite YouTubers that I actually like watching his videos suggest using isopropyl alcohol. I don't recommend doing that. Now, one reason I use the detergent wash too is it helps remove the bulk of that debris where I scuffied. And the reason why I don't want to remove most of it with my rag is each step I take on cleaning it keeps making the surface cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. Now this rag here is leaving a little bit of lint, but we're going to be using a tack cloth to remove that. But you want to wipe down the surface thoroughly to remove any wax or grease, because remember I'm scuffing with bare hands and there's oils in your hands, especially if you ever put lotion on your hands or any medicines or creams or anything like that. I mean, you don't have to be so meticulous if you just don't really care about the job that you're doing, and that's fine. That's up to you. For me, no matter how big or small the part is, I always prep it because I want the paint to stick on it and last forever if it can. Now if you're painting black, you could probably paint black, or a dark color, you can probably paint right over it. I don't recommend it. I always recommend putting a sealer or a primer over top of these. Sometimes they do have spots that stick through or need to be body filled a little bit. Sometimes they get little wrinkles, so I saw little dimples in one of them. Maybe, no, I can't. It's so faint, and these are going to be white, so it probably wouldn't matter anyways. You may have to do some work to them, and so you might want to be able to put an etching primer over it, or definitely just use a urethane primer. Use what they call a 2K primer. There is aerosol type sealers that you can use, and those are more likely going to be 1K. I'm not sure if they make a 2K spray can sealer, and if they don't, it's fine. The one reason I'm using the sealer, I mean the sealer does help protect it, but so does that black finish that they put on the product, and you can paint over it, but there's a thing called shade value. Most paints today are thinner than they used to be, and it takes more coats to cover it. Used to, it didn't seem to be a problem back in the 80s and 90s, but nowadays the top brand paints, I've put like 200 coats just to get the color to come out right, it seems like. So in order to paint that white over the black, I would rather put a sealer to put a white value, what I call, in other words, a white shade value onto that, and that'll make the white base coat cover so much easier with fewer coats. If you are mixing it, notice that your cup has mixing ratios. Now if you have one, most cups don't have just 4:1, so if you have 4:1:1, you can ignore that last one and just use the 4:1 in order to get what you want, or you can go by ounces. The cups usually have ounces on them too. So in this case here, since it's two small parts, I'm going to go to that lowest one and then put the activator up to the next level. I'm not going to worry about that last one. Sometimes they require reducers to thin them out a little bit in paints, some sealers, primers, and so it'll give you that extra bit in case that's what your mixing ratio is. But in this case, you always want to look up the mixing ratio on the can. This brand is Finish 1, and I've actually been well pleased with the way it is. But if you notice, let me get that zoomed in for you, it's telling you the mixing ratio, per activator, and there it's 4:1, so it's like the clears and most primers and stuff. So it's just 4:1, 4 parts product, or in this case sealer, and then 1 part activator. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to use a tack cloth to remove any lint, dust, debris, and stuff. It's probably not the best day to be painting outside because the wind is up. So you want to try to do it in the morning when there's no bugs, so the bugs are down, on a day that it's not going to rain, because the moisture in the air changing, if rains, the front's moving in, can cause humidities to go up and down and make your paints run, or dry spray and whatever else. But be sure to tack cloth down your panels before you spray them. Now comes the base coat. Most sealers do not require, a good sealer doesn't require a Scuffy or anything. You just spray the sealer, read the can to see what the recommended flash time is. This one here was no more than 30 minutes. And then you just spray your base coat over it. Or if you're just doing a regular single stage top coat, but just spray your paints over top the sealer. Okay, the base coat is on, and now I'm going to put the clear on it, and I'll probably put 2 coats of clear on it. Okay, now they're painted. And of course, because I got started later than I wanted to, it was about 12 o'clock when I started shooting the clear, and that caused little bugs to get in it, but luckily they got in it after the clear had already been put on. It sucks when they get on it while you're shooting the clear, because then they're in it. Right now they're just on the surface, so when I sand and buff those, they'll be gone. This one got more in it than the other one did. Not sure if you can see it or not. They're just 3 little spots. But nevertheless, that's the steps on how to be able to paint a black primered body panel. You scuffy it, you blow it off, you wipe it down with a wet, maybe with a little bit of detergent rag in it, just to get off the main debris. Then use a wax grease remover, or I use enamel reducer, then wax grease remover, or what they call prep sol. Wipe it down, then I'll tack cloth it, and then I'll spray my sealer. If I'm not spraying sealer, then I'll go ahead and spray the base coat. Or if it's not a base coat, clear coat, and it's a single stage, I'll just spray my top coat. But if I'm doing it like I did in these, I sprayed the sealer, which is a 2K sealer. Then I sprayed the base coat after about 30-minute flash on the sealer. And then I gave the base coat, I think it said 10 to 15, I gave it about 15 minutes flash. I put about 3 coats of base coat on it. Then I waited about 15-20 minutes and I shot clear. Probably I think about 20 minutes is what it turned out to be. So then I shot clear, and I gave the clear about 15 minutes flash in between 2 coats. And now this is ready to be prepped and put on the car after I repair this bumper, but that's another video. Here's a quick glimpse of what it looks like on the car.